Okay, we've now got Sarah on the line talking about the Takedown Festival that takes place here in Portsmouth in 2 months' time. Literally, I think the 3rd and 4th of April, and we're on as we record this, on the 5th of February, so 2 months' time. And I mean, I
Yes,
can't believe, I mean, we've been talking to you, for the last 6 months, I think, but can you believe it's come around so quickly?
yes and no. Normally, the bit up to Christmas, it feels like it's quite far away and it's a distant memory.
Mm.
As soon as we get past Christmas and we need to think about all the things to do with the production side of things and how are we going to make the actual festival work and have a tangible experience for everybody, that's when it suddenly becomes sharp into focus. So January was a bit of a slow ride. This week, it's full on festival, like let's get the Harris fencing ordered, let's get the catering locked in. So it's definitely, I'm very aware that it's happening in 2 months' time at the moment.
You know I'm going to lose, and gambling's for fools, but that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. And don't forget the Joker.
So since we've last talked, I think you have had probably the last lot of bands added to the bill, and you've got the stage splits now. Is that right?
Yes. Yep, that's correct. So we added three more bands last Friday, Wall, Overgrown and RTO. And then we do have a couple more slots which will be announced over the next month or so, two being the winners from our Apply to Play scheme that we run each year. And the third will be a replacement for a band that sadly had to drop out of the Saturday. So we're just working on those now.
Oh, how can you stay when you're 60 million miles away? How can you fly when you're free? And how can you feel when your mind's made up like a will of steel? How can you deal in your
And stage splits as well. You've got 3 stages running
Yes.
throughout the event, and that's I noticed that's the Krang stage, Total Rock and Metal for Good. So
Yes.
all sponsored stages. So that's also presumably another feather in your cap, is it? Getting those sponsors on board.
Yes, yeah, very good. Very pleased to have Kerrang as a sponsor this year. It's the first time we've worked with them, so they're looking after our main stage for us. Total Rock, we have been partnered with them since 2023, and Metal for Good we've been partnered with since 2024. We have announced a whole load of other sponsors, which everybody might not notice because they're at the bottom of the poster. In there, as per usual, we've got Tonic for Music, who are another charity partner. Ernie Ball again from Strings and Things. So some of our customers, or in fact the customers won't see this because it's actually in the artist green room. Strings and Things and Ernie Ball are very kind enough to come and work out of our artist green room and offer to restring guitars if anybody needs any sort of help. If there's any crisis with guitars or basses on the day, they're on hand to help. We've got Ibanez and Laney partnered as well, Ibanez and New, so Ibanez Guitars. We're just working out what that partnership looks like. So whether we'll have a bit fan side as well as artist side. Hopefully we'll have both. Laney will be providing some backline for us, which is more of the production side of things for the artists. So that will be like cabs and amps and all the stuff on stage. Absolute Music, who are a local music store down out towards Bournemouth Way. And then we've got Vocal Zone as well, who are in the artist green room providing vocal lozenges for any singers that might need them on the day. And then We Are Trash, who are part of Total Rock. That's one of their younger audience radio stations. So we're partnered with them as well. So loads of partners this year.
And you say now you've got the stage splits as well, so I can see Wild Hearts, Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons on one. Is it Gnome and In Me headlining the other 2 stages as well?
Yeah.
So how do you juggle those stage splits, and how do you decide who plays what stage, I suppose?
So the main stage is quite easy because that is the main stage, and that's generally the way that we do it is we try to theme each stage stylistically. So what we did this year and what we haven't done previously is we've worked top down. So we locked in the headliners first and then built the stages down around them. So the Saturday President stage was quite easy. That sort of took care of itself. And then the other side stages, we tried to make them a bit more interesting. So Gnome, if anybody hasn't had any exposure to them, I highly recommend that everybody go and check them out. They are from Belgium and they're sort of a doomy, stonery band. They have got a rabid audience who all wear pointy gnome hats. I caught them at Bloodstock last year, and there were people even wearing traffic cones as gnome hats. And their audience are just brilliant. They're just so much fun. And then on the Friday Metal for Good stage, we've got In Me, Devere and the Fear. So we're trying to sort of make that of an era, and then we followed that through to the Saturday ones. However, the Saturday is more sort of contemporary, whereas the Friday we've tried to make it appeal to a slightly different demographic to our normal Saturday.
The difference between Friday and Saturday is Friday is it 4 o'clock? It's an evening, more of an afternoon, evening, whereas Saturday is pretty much all day, isn't it? Sort of
all day, yeah, exactly. So Friday is sort of an extended evening session. 4 o'clock doors, 5 o'clock first band on. That's what we're working towards at the moment, so it might change. I'm just looking into the train times at the moment because obviously we want everybody to be able to catch the headliner and not have to dash off and get a train where it's Good Friday. The Saturday I have looked at the trains and I know that they are fine for everybody going everywhere, so we don't need to mess with the timings, but that will be 2 o'clock first band on, 10:30 finish in the evening at the moment. So it could change depending on what the production requirements are, but that's what we're working towards.
Faithless, cause this life is tainted. Red bricks for cages, but you can personalize and paint it. I pray to God to get me through painless, cause these streets are dangerous, and hiding behind the gates is just another crisis. When I think I feel so sick, I wake up to act like this.
See, and of course, I don't think I'd twigged that it is that Good Friday, that Easter weekend. Was that intentional, or just that was the way that the diary fell?
No, it's just the way that the diary fell. So we're really lucky that we're partnered with Portsmouth Guildhall. However, they are an extremely busy venue outside of the festival. So to try and get the pencils and to get what we need around the festival. So the Thursday we need the venue clear for a setup. The Sunday we need the venue clear for a pack down as well. So essentially we're taking 4 days out of their calendar and trying to sort of slot that in as a bit of a juggling act for both us and the venue.
But then I suppose, given that Friday is the Good Friday and therefore bank holiday, were you tempted to start as if it was a Saturday or a Sunday and start earlier? Or
we did consider it, and we were offered a very good international artist for the Friday, but unfortunately it just didn't pan out. And at the point that we were at with the bookings, we thought, actually, do you know what, we'll just keep this as a condensed, slightly longer evening gig session, rather than try and force it into another 2-day thing, because of where we were timing wise with all the bookings and the ticketing and going on sale. We just couldn't make it work this year. Not to say never, it just wasn't tangible this time round, unfortunately.
The cold in my mind burns all through the night. I'll sit there in silence, cause you're still running riots in my head. Let's keep the fire alive. The shakers kicks in the moonlight. Yeah, we're fighting all the time. You know I'm weakened by your smile.
mean, in the past, you've had more stages. I mean, I seem to remember watching Skindred outside. I mean, I'm presumably looking at the weather at the moment where it doesn't appear to have stopped raining for the last 36 days. I heard some stat. You were very much at the risk of the elements. So presumably condensing it inside, it works better in April.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, I'm not sure everybody's fully aware of what's happened with Takedown. I know you are because you've been along for the journey with us. But 2023, our first year at Portsmouth Guildhall, was great. Sleep Token, capacity event, inside outside. We managed to hire the area where the outside stage was from the council, and we fully covered all of our financial outlay. Then in 2024, we put together a 2-day event inside outside, and then unfortunately the event got postponed and certain artists were cancelled because of building works that overran. And then 2025, which was last year, we had the sort of rehoused contractual fulfillments from the 2024 event happen. And unfortunately, because 2024 did happen, it did mean that financially we were in a bit of a red hole. Now we are fiercely independent, and it is literally bankrolled by Kai and myself. So we have to be a bit cautious with commercial enterprises like this. However, we are very committed to bringing it back.
So what can we expect on the day then? I mean, who are you looking forward to, I suppose? I mean, I think it's a great lineup this year. You've got, obviously, on the Friday, you've got Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons doing... I mean, is it exclusively a Motorhead set or predominantly a Motorhead set?
So when we saw, I mean, we were very fortunate to work with Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons last year, and we caught them down in Exeter doing the same sort of set that we booked them for this year. And it was predominantly Motorhead with 2 original Phil Campbell songs mixed in. I assume that is what we're going to have this time round. And the Phil Campbell original material is so good. It sounds like Motorhead. You know, you wouldn't, if you weren't a Motorhead fan, you wouldn't know that it was Phil Campbell, not Motorhead.
Too much is never enough. Too much is never enough. Put a message with an attitude. We are coming for you. Get a place to rock and roll. Party hard, hit the road. Rock and roll, save your soul. Rock your brain till your head explodes. Got a place to rock and roll. Take the hits, take the blues. Rock and roll, save your soul. Rock your brain, anything goes. Tick, 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 tock, running out of time. Tick, 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 tock, going on my mind. Tick, 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 tock, running out of time. Too much is never enough. Too much is never.
Well, and the Wild Hearts. I mean, I in my youth, I was a great Wild Hearts fan. That sounds like we're aging them a bit, but I mean, they were always a band that had some cracking songs and still do.
Yes.
They were always very entertaining live. So I must admit, I'm very keen to be seeing that, and I think that nicely dovetails into Phil Campbell, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, definitely. They're very, very good together. And on the Friday in particular, I'm looking forward to Kill the Lights, who are ex-Bullet for My Valentine members. So if anybody hasn't heard of them, they are very, very good.
Crawling and fighting my way off the land. And I'm bloody, I fight for revenge. There's nothing left to lose. This time you won't be it. There's no excuse. Somebody's your tongue. And back your teeth. Let's see you bleed instead of hear you speak. Phony love. A broken dream. So save your breath, 'cause I won't hear you scream.
Assenbell are another one. They are basically new Motorhead, and absolutely everybody needs to check them out. They're just about to go on tour with Airborne as main support, and they are brilliant. so good.
Time to face the music. I was born to do this. Insane, ingrained. Let loose the martial law. Don't stop for nothing at all. Louder, louder.
And then if we look at the Saturday, obviously you've got President as a headliner, so that was quite a coup for you, because I remember seeing President at Download, and I had the foresight to get there 20 minutes before the last set finished, so I was in the tent, but it was 40 deep outside the tent. I mean, it was impossible to get anywhere. And so the hype around President, and I mean, I think this is their first headlining gig, isn't it? A festival gig.
First festival headliner. What
can we expect from the sets? Because I mean, there's obviously a lot of theatrics around President, but yet I've not seen them in a gig environment other than a festival one, so I don't really know what to expect. Have you got do you know? Can you tease us anything that you're expecting from President?
So I'm not that far into the advancing process at the moment, so I don't know what the technical requirements are, but we are expecting it to be a closed set like we have with Sleep Token. So that means nobody will be allowed backstage because of the anonymity, if I get my words out right. And that also means that we keep the stage completely blocked off, so it's literally them and their key personnel. What I have seen from their EU shows that have just happened in January is there are a lot of lights, a lot of dramatics, a lot of theatrics. But given that they were in the EU, they didn't have their full production with them, whereas we know this will be a full production headline show. So very excited to see it before it goes out on tour across the UK.
Mistakes, I can't keep it straight, I just forgot that I let you destroy me with the blood scratched through my veins, and I watch you just take away everything. I keep trying to restore me, let it all just wash away, but I'm stuck in a place that I can't escape.
And I say I'm keen to see Bex, The Horror, Mason Hill. I mean, and there are other bands on there that I'm aware of, but I'm keen to check out. Who do I have to go and see on the Saturday, Sarah?
So St Agnes, if you didn't catch them in 2023, they are about to release a new album, and I was talking with them on Tuesday. They were the support for Covey at the venue that we managed the diary for in Southampton, the 1865, and they were saying they've got a single coming out just before Takedown, which is quite exciting. Sound a lot like Nine Inch Nails with their new material, which is awesome.
Take your place in the light.
I would highly recommend everybody check out Zetra. If you are a dirty goth like me, they will absolutely fulfill all of your goth requirements. They've done some brilliant Cure covers as well. As It Is are brilliant. I don't really know how to describe As It Is. They're just a lovely bunch of people, and their music is very upbeat, and I love it. And they're a fantastic one to check out.
'Cause I never felt so brave. That January day I asked for help. You'll never be okay until you lose your way and you find yourself.
As well as Pave or Pave. We're not too sure how to pronounce it. We had a bit of an internal argument yesterday whether it was Pave or Pave. They have been on our radar for about 3 years via Nels Hilton from Radio 1, who actually went to university in Portsmouth. So he's been championing getting them into Portsmouth and onto Takedown for a couple of years now, and they're great. They're lovely. Lovely bunch of people again, and a brilliant artist to see live.
I know we talked about in the past, I think, about expanding the ability to have stalls and merchandising and a little bit like Kin you have to festivals. And I know that's something you're
Yeah.
keen to do. But at the moment, presumably, it'll just be the ability to buy merchandise from the bands.
Yeah, so we're going to do what we've done before, but it's slightly more expanded. So upstairs, you will have the headliner merchandise. So on Friday, that will be Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons next to Kerrang and also the Takedown Festival merch. And then on the Saturday, that will be President Kerrang and then Takedown. And then downstairs, where we have our merch hall, we're very passionate about bands not being charged merch commission fees. So we have tables set up for each band and they are able to sell the merchandise themselves. Some of the bands, well, hardly any of the bands bring a merch person with them. It's normally the bands selling the merch themselves before and after they've performed. So if you're a fan of a band, that is your opportunity to go and chat to them pre and post show. 9 times out of 10 when you go down there, you can catch somebody that you're a fan of and go and chat to them and buy a bit of merch from them.
I see the anger when I look into their eyes. The king's betrayal doesn't come as a surprise. Another chance at life comes at the highest price. If I can stay alive today, I'll kill them all and scream, we are alive.
Tickets, Sarah. Where can we get tickets for Takedown Festival? From the Guildhall, I assume, or from the website?
Yes, and also from takedownfestival.com. So you can buy Friday tickets, Saturday tickets, or weekend tickets, and we also have VIP upgrade options. The Saturday VIP has gone, and we're just trying to negotiate with the venue to get in a few more on sale because we might have a little bit of wiggle room there. But that VIP option allows you to have a separate bar and a nice sit. So if you are a bit older like me and you want to have a nice sit and watch a band from comfort, then that's your option to get a guaranteed bum on a seat.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to the festival immensely. I think you've got a great lineup this year, and what better way to spend Easter than at the Takedown Festival in Portsmouth?
Exactly. Thank you.
Son of a gun, just as what it was, but you say